Hi, this is me, and this is part 3. I pushed pause, and then my mouse pad pushed stop. Um, one of the biggest heartbreaks was, it wasn't just the actions, like a guy coming home, or my husband at the time, coming home and saying, oh, there's this new cute girl at work, she was flirting with me, but I said, no, I'm married. Like, you hear stuff like that. Or this older lady, when he was in his 20s, she keeps asking me what I'm doing on the weekend. And what I ended up, doing was, at the time, I felt that he still loved me and wanted me to be monogamous with him. And then when we moved in my dad's house, he was doing a lot of porn, and he refused to sleep in the same room as me, and I would go and check on him at night, and he was mad because he's like, I'm on porn trying to do something, and you're interrupting my session with this computer and having these rolls of toilet paper all over the place. And that was also a thing when I bought my house. So from the 24 hours of getting married on going to the relationship, it got more and more and more and more and more from what I thought was, we're 100% a couple, we both equally like each other, love each other. And it wasn't the porn. Porn is, I don't know, a lot of people don't talk about it, but what it was for me, the hardest thing was the, like a rash. It wasn't the porn, it was the, distance. It was the, I don't like you anymore, and I don't like you at all, so basically you're the person who cleans my socks and underwear, and, I don't even know if he had underwear, because we both didn't have underwear. I don't even know if he had underwear, to tell you the truth, probably not. Like, you're the person that had, just cleared out my messes as he throws his trash on the floor, and it just sucked to be like a slave maid, because then you have no money, you have no shoes, they take your car, and you go get a job, they take your money, and it's just sickening. And I hate when people put $1 up for something. That's not $1. I think that's cheating. So it went from the, like, thinking we're exclusive, 100%, down to 99, down to 98, down to 99. And it very quickly went to 0. So I'm really sick that when I brought my daughter's classmate's mom into the house so that the kids could play, that her and my husband started trying to have sex with each other immediately and in front of my face. And it was the most, I already heard that he was trying to sleep around, and we were having parties, and he was hitting on women in front of me. And these women were like, that's your husband, dude. He's scaring me. It's time for me to go home. And they would be like, he's kind of a jerk. Like, this other people were like, yeah, he's kind of a jerk. Why are you with him? Like, yeah, I'm not anymore. And I never went back. After that, I left home and I never went back. And I've been alone ever since. So before I left him, so I always get the yin and the yang into my mind. And so it's like that line, black and white. It's like before and after, but it's it's like intertwined because I'm like the same person, and there's a little sex of black or dark white within white and dark, like. So I just keep seeing that there's that line that has some significance as well, and it's like having trying to be friends with women, and you see in the movies, in Hollywood movies, that the women, what is the one where the girls go out to the cabin? God, I borrowed it from the library. Because I'm so isolated. Like, in the 80s, I grew up in a small town. It was old-fashioned. People went to different churches, and people had husbands, and their kids and grandkids would come over and then go back home and come over. And you would see community around you, and we didn't have it in my household, but I could leave my household and be into someone else's world for a minute and come back to my toxic world and go back out. So, anyways, I thought, thinking movie, it reminds me of the good old days. Groups of women going out, being able to chit chat, have tea together, or drinks or whatever they decided. And I forget the name of that movie. I don't even remember what happened. I think it was pretty psycho is what happened. I'm looking at this book like, shoot, I think I bent the corner. I seriously think I just bent the corner by placing it here. I gotta post this up on eBay right now. Like, not right this second, but in the next 10 minutes, I gotta leave soon. I always thought, no matter what you go through, you should be able to have, if you're a woman and you wanted to be friends with a group of women, you can understand your body's changes, your hormonal changes, menopause, and you'll go through thick and thin of each other's struggles with relationships, and whether your children are grown, or your dog died, and you always had so much shoulder to cry on. And I always thought that no matter through thick and thin, that you can have this group of people, and that when I was in Portland married, we had more people that we knew. We knew a couple people in Western Kentucky when we were down there, and a couple in Michigan even. But it's like you feel like you can form this, like could still be the ones to make a potluck or barbecue. You could still be the ones to you're inviting your partners. If you broke up, there'll be a few single people. People can mingle. Kids, bring your dog, have food, have a hot tub party, whatever. And I thought that was the way normal people lived, and I never got to be in a group of women. And when there was thick and thin, and kids growing up, and hormonal changes, and health changes, and divorce, and childbirth, there was nobody. There was nobody. Not one person, male or female. So when I came out of the marriage, the other side of the yin and yang, the other half of that line was like leaving the past behind, a line in the sand. Waking up today's the next day of the rest of my life. I felt like um, how do you say this? I felt like I um, was, I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna start crying. Like, you just feel neglected. You just feel hated. You just feel like, wow, I'm really bad. I'm a really bad person. Like, and you see people you make friends with, and then they are like super dishonest and super like I said, you bring someone to their house and they're like, man, your husband's freaking hot. I'm gonna have sex with him, and you're like, no, you're not. And then that's all they talk about, and because you have no car, your husband took it, no money, they offer to drive you and your kids to school and take you to the store. You're like, it's this or nothing. So then you still bring this so-called vampire into your house. So I thought in my mind to continue to try to make friends with women, and then the only people that were calling my phone were married guys, and it doesn't happen anymore. So this was when I was still in my 20s and early 30s, and I was like, oh, I met their wife, and they were trying to have barbecues and family potlucks and bring the kids. So I wouldn't want to talk to the guy. I'd always want to talk to a woman, and she's just like, I don't have time for you. I don't have time for you. I don't have time for you. And so I keep telling you guys that I'm a tomboy because it's like these guys were sitting home being housemaids, cooking and cleaning, braiding the kids' hair, taking the kids to school, walking the dogs, like all of that stuff. And you're like, oh, these guys. I'm not saying that working is hard, but I had to be the housemaid and the single parent and the working person and the person that's in school full time. And I still had the energy to want to be like, let's go hang out for my birthday or your birthday or for any reason, just because the sun is up. And none of these women would have anything to do with me. And then their husbands would say, oh, we're having a party or this or that. And so I said, okay, well, you're both going to be there. I'm down. But I didn't want to ever. A couple of times we took the kids to Pollock Park. I did that a couple of times in the early days because me and my kids were desperately alone. We had nobody but each other. So, and I'm going to be grateful for that. So when I say that I pray, God, why don't I have friends? And sometimes it becomes a self-preservation. Sometimes it becomes a self-preservation where you are around really toxic people and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like Jesus going into places and loving people, he had to get away from the masses. So he had his group of people and they were not perfect. And he had his trustworthy disciples and best friend Mary, and he hung out with mommy Mary and best friend Mary. And it becomes a reason to be joyful because you feel like if you can preserve your body, your sanity, I guess is the word, then you can help other people, and that becomes my mantra, my purpose in life. And I'm like, sheesh, like these people in the church are like, you're helping people way too much. You gotta take care of you and your family. So try to look at the balance of that. But I realized upon helping others, like going to a food pantry to volunteer for a couple hours, I get really tired. It's late at night when I go. And I get out and see people like me that have to come down, pick a number, and say, my family's about starved, or I live alone, or I sleep outside, I can't get any meat and all this junk you're trying to give me. And to cook, because I don't know to cook it or refrigerate it. And then I feel like I do a better job at putting it in perspective and coming home and being grateful, because a lot of times I'm in that same line, so they can't just think that people will like beg for money just because they think they see you in the food bank. volunteering that you got your stuff together. It's like, I'm volunteering, so I know how it feels to go through that line. And it's like, I'm probably going to go through the line. And you just hate when people see you driving up in your car and having a naturopath bump thing on the back of the car, magnet. And it's like, I can't afford to feed my kids. I can't afford to keep the clinic open. And I didn't want to sign a lease for the building. But I have no choice. I have to have a business location or I can't take insurance straight up. And it would be financially better for me to shut down the clinic. It would be better for my finances to not see any patients because the insurance is not. The payments I received do not even keep the building open. That's from me and my daughter's jobs that require no education whatsoever. She just need to be 18 or 16 as her only requirement and be able to work in this country. And um, so I watch this lady. I watch Glenn Close, and I see her, the style of the time period. I actually have some clothes from the. I actually got some stuff from Goodwill auctions and stuff where I was like, oh my god. Oh, I have to push this button. I'm like, oh my god, this lady is like, got that look. This actress, oh shoot, I gotta stand on this thing. This actress is like, oh, it just reset itself. Oops. This actress is freaking intense, dude. Like, that look in her eye scared the crap out of me. And then I go on and I look in the package of videotapes, VHS cassette tapes, and I see this lady in it. I said, oh gosh, she's playing in 101 Dalmatians. Like, I don't know if I saw this movie. And I'm sitting here, like, I'm scared to watch the movie. So I finally, this weekend, before I went back to the weekend job, watched the movie again. Another bad guy. I'm like, where is this sophisticated? She's very sophisticated in both movies, as far as being kind of classy, really classy and professional. And that look in her eye, man, I don't think it's just the makeup. I'm like, either she's nuts or she's a really good actress, and I think that she's a really good actress. So I'm gonna see. I already tried to see what some of the movies at the library they didn't have. I'm looking for stuff from the 80s, She was intense, and it's just like I read about her life and the religious thing her parents had put her through, and her background was all diverse, and I was like, that's intense. Like, I wonder if that contributed to her powerful role playing. I don't know. So I woke up. I gained a bunch of weight too. I woke up this morning and I'm sitting here not wanting to. Oh, I'm almost 140. I'm not wanting to. This is probably the biggest weight that I've been in a really, really long time. That's okay. I didn't want to bore you with these stories, but I'm really opposed to this. Like, I don't think. And sorry, I'm over here doing the wee test. I don't think if I've been this single and this undesired and this lack of friends for this long, I don't think that me just showing up or trading numbers with somebody is going to cause them to, dump their partner, or like I'm not even able to get a single like in both senses of the word, not taken, and a single one person. I haven't even been able to get one person to call me back. There's one woman that from my meeting that will return my phone calls, and I think that she has some similarities in how to behave like a civilized human. And she didn't have to call me. There was a time she said she got back too late, and actually I ended up seeing her the next day. I'm sure if I didn't see her the next day, she mentioned it. And if I didn't see her the next day, I think she's the type of person who would call me back. And I really appreciate that. I've missed a couple of appointments with a chiropractor in the past, and I apologize. I know how clinics don't want you missing, and then you give short notice, and I was trying to pay her the fee one day. I don't know if I just sometimes I was like, my body was so sick, I just drove by the clinic and went home and went to bed, and then they called, like, where are you? I was like, I'm at home in bed. Like, do you know you're you're supposed to be at an appointment right now? I'm just like, oh god, I feel like I'm gonna die. I've done that more than once in my life. I just felt like I was gonna die, either forgot about the appointment or canceled the appointment. I was like, wait a second, they're supposed to be helping me. I think it's really hard when you have to drive yourself and or carry your kids. So I think that as a single mom, sometimes people think you're cocky, um, because you're used to being, in the ghetto when you're from the country, where everybody drives by and waves at you. Howdy, neighbor. Nice looking dog you got there. And I'm used to that. And then you got your parents driving all these Mercedes and Porsches and Audis and SUVs back before there was actually SUVs. And then you end up having your dad send you this beater of a car that breaks down in the ghetto, and the only people you could ask to push are like passed out in the bus stop with a paper bag full of a bottle falling out of their hand. And so you get hardened. I got hardened because of life circumstances. I got hardened because of adulterous marriage. I got hardened because the world rolls your eyes when you use WIC or food stamps. And you're seeing pictures and people, you give $3 to some freaking company and you don't buy your kids lunch that day, and you go home and try to see what's left over from the food bank, and then you get a bazillion pieces of mail saying starving children in Africa, and you're like, starving children in my house, and you feel guilty, and then you have these people rolling their eyes, and you say, I don't want to be in a picture in a country that has too much food, and I have my baby dying in my hands because they're malnourished, or because they didn't get the medicine, or because they got cholera and diarrhea and dirty water. Like, do you think I wanted to be in line with those WIC coupons? Do you think, but when you are looking for a job for 3 years, it's that, or you let your kids starve. It's bad enough if I don't qualify for anything and I'm single and I'm sitting outside the sidewalk starved to death. That's my fault. But the kids shouldn't be punished, and you shouldn't roll your eyes at people like that. If you see someone like that with a cord and a purse and a cell phone, let me tell you, a lot of the stuff that I have is literally someone else's garbage. Or you spent $40 of student loan money on every clearance item, like $200 worth of clothes from Kohl's.com, using a coupon, and then you go and get some dish rags with your Kohl's cash. I guess you would have spent $50, but you're literally getting your clothes in Target for $1, $1.49, $2.30, and you're able to get your kid undershirts like that by taking bottles back and then going straight up to Kohl's, or Target or Fred Meyer clearance aisle. And so people say, you got a phone, you got a car, you shouldn't be using food stamps. Some people only get $10 of food stamps a month. So you're going to use it. Use it or lose it. And your income might be like mine, where your rent is higher than your income. And you cleaned out all your savings and all this stuff. So I am. I'm wanting to tell you that when I woke up this morning, I had my old coworker, and I started this in the first video. He had said, just enjoy life, just enjoy life. And I met him before I turned 40, and I said, oh my god, I'm old. I was like, you're funny, I like you want to hang out? And he's like, no, I don't hang out with women, I'm done. I was like, dang it. I was just like, it was funny. I just want to be friends with somebody. I wasn't trying to like marry him and steal his money, but I was like, I get worried about that too. I was like, wait, if you like try to steal something from me, you're gonna steal a really big debt. Unfortunately, I hope there's a day that I can say the opposite. But I liked his energy. He was funny. He wasn't the most honest person, but he was environmentally conscious. And sometimes on the job that we were at, in order to be environmentally conscious, and basically this guy again is not have kids that are 18 in the house, not eligible for food stamps, and you had to throw food away, that becomes his lunch, And so you had to look at the motive and the integrity behind, some people's actions. It's not really it's not a harmful thing really. Um, but he's like, yeah, you're a stickler for rules. And I know, and it's unfortunate because then your rules can go against your morals. But sometimes the rules are set up because so many people exploited and benefited and disrupted the company by severely breaking the rules. So then they kind of have to be more strict. But I felt bad because I was like, yep, let's go out to the sunny bench and have lunch. You're funny. And he's like, this is how you do it. This is how you do the job. Just enjoy life. Just, blah, 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 blah. And he's singing. And he's like, I enjoy life. I hang out with my kid and my step-kid. I don't need any woman. And he's like, and he's like, he had issues with his male parts. And we're just like, you're so funny. It was like, fine, I was like, no one wants to hang out. This guy was active in the community, active in the acting community. I understood he had thoughts. Like, everyone you meet says, no, I don't want to hang out with you. And they have their own parties and potlucks and picnics, and I'm not invited. So they have their own circle of friends they hang with. And occasionally some of these people will call or talk to me or email me, but it's not like, it fizzles out. So it teaches me, like, this guy was like, dude, you're turning 40 soon, before I turned 40, and he's like, I'm almost twice your age, or he's not, well, kind of, he always thinks he's older than we are, but he's not. He's like, you're really not that much older than us. And he's like, when I was your age, I looked in the mirror, like, oh my god, I'm 40, oh my god, old man. He goes, now I look in the mirror, good grief. He's like, I wouldn't give to be your age again. So it really put it in perspective about aging and what people chase relationships, or relationships chase them, and ending up these people in their 60s with 2, 3, 4, 5 divorces and occasional cohabitations and the best gratitude out of some of these relationships is the children that were produced and or the stepchildren that were raised in the household briefly. So I'm old-fashioned. I kind of miss the monogamous. I met them at 18 or 14 or 21 and got married and stayed with this feller. And through ups and downs, and there's people I know that are in their 80s that are like that. There's people I know in their 80s that have been single their whole life or never married, no kids. And I've met people, I don't know what their previous situation was, but then they got together in their 60s, 70s. They met each other and fell in love at that age. And so I feel like there's hope um, if I stay alive. And for me, I tell you about the recovery. If I stay sober, I walked through the store and kept coincidentally running into this feller. And he's amazingly good looking, has a really sexy voice, and it's really hard for me. But spiritually, of all the facets of life, spiritually, this person is not, according to what happens, it's not working because the vision that God basically gave me was that I needed somebody who was going to meet me in this God-inspired middle ground. Like, we both had to be obedient in our individual lives and come together in a God spotlight. And it was as though I was waiting in this God spotlight. Not perfect, marred up, dirty, didn't get the mileage for the start of my car, and didn't finish cleaning my house. So I am not completely obedient in what I'm supposed to be doing, so that makes a difference too. It couldn't be my fault. God's like, no, you did everything right. But if I'm standing in the spotlight alone, so that it becomes a one-sided relationship. It's like when I get on Facebook. If I make a comment, nobody says anything, if I think it's funny, then I'll be the only one to respond to my own comment. So my relationship in this world is predominantly alone. So I have to be like this guy and say, enjoy it, enjoy your job, laugh, have fun with it. He says, have fun with it. This is life. Have fun with it. And I'm take it with a grain of salt, because just like the guy at church that says you're helping too many people, this, and this, if I steer away and listen to what this guy says, I feel like I'm not doing, like I start feeling like, wait a second, this is not what my prayer and meditation reveals. This, like oftentimes when people tell me, even if they're meaning well or thinking that I'm frazzled from exhaustion, I feel like God is saying, or that they're saying the opposite of God's saying, or opposite of what my lifelong plan had been for decades. And when it's like my major in medicine became, you're not good enough, I'm not good enough, self-doubt, or media, black people aren't doctors, what do you think you're doing? And then I would go and be Mr. Wildlife, agriculture, natural resources, and forestry classes. I want to work outdoors and learn about plants, and farming, and food, and parks and rec, and Peace Corps, like all these different paths that I took. Air Force. I want to be an astronaut, doctor though. And I ended up like I ended up getting slapped back into the medical studies. And so all of this was a waste of time, energy, and effort. Um, 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 I don't know. I I gotta get in the shower and leave is what I know. And my friend's not gonna be at the job today, and I'm not. It's like easier. Um, and anyways, so I saw this feller too much yesterday, and I was just coincidentally I was just like God. I'm pretending I don't know. I can't deal with it anymore. So they stopped trying to get my attention and stopped saying hi to me and stopped using my name. So they're basically taking like like what do they say about dishing out? Basically, he's doing what I'm doing, and just kind of like ignoring me, and I'm just like minding my business, I guess. And it really is sad to be feeling like the B word and being. I guess it's the most important thing about it is self-preservation and respecting this guy's wishes against his girlfriend, towards his wanting to be respectful and not angering his girlfriend. And so the reason that I share this is I, I was like, God, like, I just want to stop and when it's slow or something, just look like, what's going on? What the HE hockey stick is going on? Like, first you're telling me like get out of my life, and then you're like pouncing me and getting in my face and calling my name. I'm just like, I don't hear you. Like I literally like ran away before while I was talking to me. Like I literally like you never did this before. You kicked me to the curb, and now it's like now that I respect your wishes, you're just like, in my face. But now I think it's just like it's gonna work both ways where we just like pretend we don't know each other. And so part of me wants to just go and say, listen, buddy, what the heck's your problem? I was like, let's shake on it. Let's just be friends and not deal with whatever was said during that conversation 6 weeks ago. Which I was like stuttering and like, And then the other part of me goes back to the movie and says, hey, this person was instigating a lot. And then they're like, I'm not available after I led you on. And in the movie of Fatal Attraction, she I forget the character's name. Sorry. She literally goes nuts. But she had multiple sexual encounters with this guy. Excuse me. And was like connected. It was like she couldn't shut off her attraction to this guy and her connection with the guy. And everyone hated the woman, but the guy pretty much instigated the getting together. My wife saw the time, and then coming back the next day and doing it again, and coming back and eating lunch with her, and giving his wife's food to the dog, right? And I guess the eating and the second sex scene was the same day, but the character asked, why are you here? And I think some of that in the outtakes or in the interview with the actors, I think some of that stuff she said was not in the script. I think some of it was like straight up impromptu about like, why are you with me then? Your life's so good. Why are you here? So I hated and I hate in my life that I'm like never good enough to be an exclusive. Um, like, I can't like sometimes people like get friends that are guys and they like go to concerts and hang out and talk and they're not even dating. they're just like, well, we're buddies, or we go and do school projects together, and then like, then they all of a sudden fall in love, and you don't want to. They don't want to break up the friendship by having weird stuff happen, but then if it's mutual, they give it a try. And you hear a lot of people say they married their best friends, but it's like I feel like I can't even get, you know, the friend part. And the guys I know that, like, I want to go fishing and do stuff out in the woods like I did when I was a kid. And there's a lot of guys I know that do that, and they have the boats and stuff. And for me, these guys are like married. I'm not gonna. I might ask them where's a good place to go, but I don't want to. I will just, now that my kids want to go, I'll just, because I don't like going on the water and adventuring by myself. I don't think it's safe. I like to, especially if I don't know, I'm not from around here. I don't know the terrain in the area. I don't want to be in an emergency. I gotta make food. This guy is foraging again. But yeah, I just wanted to share. I caught myself here a couple times. I caught myself saying I'm undesirable. I am not loved. I can never meet up with anyone. And I gotta shut up about that. And just the reason I'm filming this is the reason that I'm sharing this with you guys, and I would like to actually post this video. I'll post the part 3 first. Is that I really like to socialize, and I was working on this. I have this blanket here that I'm making for my kid, and she would have been happy with this bulky scarf, but then I just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I wanted to make it into a blanket. So it's basically long, and I have to make it wide now, and which can you tell the edges? I don't know what I did. This is just crazy. It's really comfortable actually, but I realized yesterday that especially after this guy told me that I am, he hadn't seen me in a while, and he says, it's an older guy, he sees through everybody, you can't trick this guy, he's like a prophet or something, and he's like, you look completely different, and your smile is real, and it's not just a smile, it's your eyes are smiling, for real, not fake, and it's really hard to hear someone say you were faking before, but I noticed after I got toxic people out of my life that I was being more attractive and less toxic myself. You know what? I'm like freaked out because I'm like, wait a second. Like, I gotta remember there's things that's like, I don't like burning stuff before work, before the outside job. It's like, when I'm around toxic people, normies can't handle me. And I had one friend who had balls enough to tell me this to my face, and it was the first time that I realized it. And then at the time, still felt obligated to, um, to, um, be around relatives. And there's a neighbor that was also in this cray. Like, I can't even express. Look at all these water bottles. I can't even express the amount of cray that I'm thinking in my mind because I don't want to. It's actually scary. Um, so it's really sad. I feel like being around these people, um, it made it so that I was um, I was not able to make friends um, because of oh shoot, what the heck just happened? I wasn't able to make friends because me being around toxic people was me being around toxic people was making me a toxic person. And this is really, really hard. I'm going to say this and I'm going to stop. Um, what was really, really hard is I'm gonna cry. What was really, really hard was having, making that blanket and having this be the second blanket I made this year. I made one last year for my son, and I'm making this one, and I've been making necklaces and stuff. And I'm realizing, I tried to spit this out yesterday, I couldn't say it right. I was in the position where I was, I want to say cuss words. This stupid punk of a cousin is such a selfish little brat and a control freak and has no care about anyone but herself and how good she looks to the world. And she never returned any of my calls for over 20 years and has the nerve to call the cops because I don't return her text because I said I'm done with you. And at the time she texted me, I work on the weekends and I was being audited exact time she texted me, and I was like, you gotta do that. You leave work, you go get your kid, you make dinner, you do your call report, and I wake up before midnight to double check that I actually push save. You have to push save more than once. You have to push done then save, or else it won't. And then if you don't push save, I found out the hard way. Anything you type gets erased when it logs you out of the system. So you have to restart it, and it sucks. Um, so I had these fools keep calling me early in the morning, waking me up on my home phone and my cell phone, and I ended up blocking them, and I thought I blocked everything, and that there was other numbers coming through, so I blocked those numbers because it wakes up the entire household, and you got kids like me working 7 days a week, going to school full time, working multiple jobs, working full time, going to school, all of these different factors, and being severely impoverished, and we ended up. having where, excuse me, we ended up having where I, how do you say this? That morning I just woke up and I didn't get a good night's sleep. Sometimes my daughter, we don't get home till almost 11 from her job after we both worked all day. And usually on the weekends and stuff. Yesterday, there's people going through red lights. There was people on my bumper, crazy, 10 something at night. I don't know what people do, partying and stuff. And even on a regular day, when I'm driving around 9, 10 o'clock at night, I've been up since like 5. And I'm tired. Like, I just want to get off the road myself, personally. Be real careful. People are aggressive in the morning as well as they're like, go, 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 drink too much coffee, this. I don't know, cigarettes, I don't know what. And one of the days, I think I blocked them a little bit, and I didn't block everything. So you only have so much time in the day to sit there. And the home phone only blocks 25 numbers. So someone's got their cell phone, their husband's cell phone, their neighbor's cell phone, their home phone, all this work number. Like, no, I don't have. You don't always know those numbers until they bust through your boundaries because they realize the other one's being blocked. They woke me up early in the morning, and I was really stressed because it also woke up the kids. And then I had to go to work. And then that day I got audited, and I was shaking all day, and I was being audited, and my legs went numb. And I left my station and went around and passed out. I was passing out chocolate, and you take a tray and pass out your food samples and your coupons. And they don't always want you to do that, but I was waiting for my stool and stuff. So the doctor's orders, and I never got it. So I was like, I get really scared when my legs go numb at work that I'm gonna collapse and just be laying there behind my car, like, help, somebody, like, I'm down here. Did somebody, like, throw me up on a shelf or something until, like, I'm start working. So it was really awkward, and I was already shook up, and she came, and I was, like, stuttering and freaking out. And right during this audit, which I was gone, because then I took a bathroom break as well. I think there was 2 different days. Anyways, I think both the days that these people woke me up and I was shook up, I got audited. And I was stuttering and, like, trying to make excuses for no, like, it didn't need an excuse. It'd be like, oh my god, I'm sorry that it's cloudy today. Oh my god. Oh, like, shut up. Just be like, and, like, literally, I was letting myself, when talks to people, even if I don't talk to them, when they leave messages or they break through my boundaries, I realized that my self-hatred switch would turn on. And I was just like they treated me, the scum of the earth, the reason for everybody's problems. And then they get in there and they get all like punk, but acting towards you. And then you get on Facebook, try to block them from there, and they're on there like, look at me, look at my new car, look at my $65,000 car, look at my 6-pack abs, look at my new diamond ring, like. I got another raise at work. I got this award. Look at this at me at church. Look at blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so you think that they're sitting at home like, oh my god, this lady that I haven't called in 20 years, I hope she's okay. You don't give a crap that I'm okay. You do not. And if you would have returned phone calls or letters or emails instead of just totally blowing me off. And even if they once or twice in 20 years, this stupid lady, like, she answers the phone or she answers a text, and it's like, I'm not going to talk to you. So I went through that a couple times, and then I said, screw you. Like, it's obvious. It's obvious. If I don't call certain people back, it's obvious I don't want to talk to you. But for me, I take the hint. It's obvious you don't want to talk to me. I'm not going to keep pestering you. And if you're ready to talk to me, I will either talk to you or realize that you're a highly toxic person. God, this made me so mad because it's just like the people. I'm the black sheep, so it's just like the people just try to look as good as you can on the outside. And not only do you look good, you will go into all kinds of debt and all kinds of this just to feel like the world approves of you because you're like the Kardashians. And I'm like, I don't even know. Like, these people are talking about Kardashians all the time and how they had to be like them and dress like them and have the same cars as them. And I'm like, you're like a grown adult in your middle age. Like, why are you like? I know as a teenage girl, I was like against like fashion, but I realized in the fashion magazines I was already dressing in this 70s hippie style that was kind of popular in the 90s. I was like, wait a second, I gotta stop dressing like this. And what ended up happening was I just thought it's easy for me to have been influenced by anything, sex, rock and roll, culture, when I was 12. But I'm like, once I'm 20, 30, 40, 50, I feel like, have fun. Like this guy said, enjoy life, enjoy community. If you want to dress like these people and get the same cars as them, go ahead. But don't treat other people like if we don't do it, then you're like, you belong in a mental hospital because you're not bleaching your hair like such and such. Or you're not naming your kid like such and such named their kid. Or getting the same, such and such had a certain type of dog. It's really fast. Then I have to have that kind of dog too, or you're nutcase. And it's just like, and if these people get rid of their dog, you're going to get rid of theirs too. It's just like they have no mind of their own. And it freaks me out because I'm a thinker. I like to think. I like to do crossword puzzles. I don't really do them. I like to read books. But I don't know about these people. So I realized that I would have all these people were physically violent. They were, when I call them the B word and bratty little punk butts, these people are also physically violent towards me. And besides the mental, emotional abuse and the name calling and criticizing me every time I'm at their house. This lady, I would talk to her, say, hi, how's your dog? How have you been? Haven't seen you in 7 years. They look right through me. And I'm like, am I a ghost? Am I even alive? There's a movie, that name. But it's like, you know. And the nerve of these people send me freaking crap in the mail. I'm like, I don't like you. And I don't want your mail. And I don't have the nerve to say return to sender does not exist, but because I'm scared that the post office is going to shut everything else. So these people could be watching the videos, and I guess the good thing is 2016, summer 2016 to fall of 2017, which is today, right now, 9 o'clock a.m. on the dot, Pacific time. Pacific time. I don't know if that's standard or the D, whatever the D is, daylight saving. Sorry, I get that mixed up. Daylight saving times ends? Does it end in this month? I don't know. I wanted to tell you guys, when I blocked these fools again and again and again, I set the computer over there, 6 a.m., and because I blocked them, after they called up my phone and woke up the whole household. Sometimes you can go to sleep after you hear a phone ringing. What happened is I opened up my computer. I was dead asleep. I couldn't sleep that night. I get sick easily. And I have malnutrition, so sleep at least is one factor that helps. Like water and sleep, at least you can fill in some of the blanks of staying alive, survival mode. I had tried to print something the night before, it didn't print. And I let it go because the kids had gone to bed. And when I opened my computer, it restarted the print job. So now the the printer downstairs where the kids were, and they're just like, God, Mom, phone ringing, this and that's happening, this and that. Oh my God. I felt like a jerk, dude. And I realized that I dealt with these fools for 41 years of my life, because I'm almost 41, and that when I broke free, before I broke free from them, I made a conscious decision to break free from them. And I felt liberated. I made a bunch of friends. I was going out at Starbucks, meeting up with people. And then as soon as I put my boundaries in place and they found out, this big group of people, that I'm on the West Coast to get away from them. I am literally in Portland to get away from these fools. That is probably 99.9% of the reason why I'm in this house. The 1% was my ex-husband knew some people. This guy named Eric. And he said it's diverse, there's jobs, and there's, I don't know what the third thing was. Food, I don't know what it was. Diversity, jobs, I don't know, family, energy, we had kids. Come to Portland. So that, getting away from them, was my primary purpose. Knowing somebody in town was the destination point, because it would have potentially been anywhere else, Alaska, San Diego. It would have been as far away. I didn't know about Seaside, Oregon. I didn't know about Astoria, Warrenton. I might have ended up, I wanted to get as far away. As soon as I got here, I wanted to go to Russia through the Bering Straits. That's how ridiculous. Like, I was in survival mode all the time, and I was also with an abusive person. But I was nursing and pregnant, and my mother instincts were super strong. Like, as far as being intuitive. And that's the type of person I am. Anyways, but I was amped up with this. Keeping the kids alive, keeping the kids safe, keeping away from mean people. Don't touch my little bear cub. And it's like, just, I was gonna hitchhike here if I had to. I've done it with a cat on my head. I have pictures I will show you later. I swear to you, I will. It's embarrassing to you. It's really embarrassing, by the way. Someone stole the sweater I'm wearing in one of the pictures. I don't know what happened to all their pants. I wish I kind of had them right now. I'd wear them to work. But my non-being. It's like, hey, if I had those pants, they would last. They last 2 flash floods. I would have them for a really long time. So I'm not like messing with stuff that's being shipped back and forth from China on these boats. Like, ship this. Oh, where's the cotton? Let's ship it over here. Back and forth, back and forth. Oh, let's send it here. Oh yeah, we're gonna make the textile here and send it back to China so they can make it. Then we're gonna send it back here and we're gonna send it back there so they can tag it. Like, and it's like, how much fuel and natural resource inclusion did you make for this $2 clearance item tank top that I got? Like, think about that versus some other thing that was made for some biker in the USA, straight from the cavalry or whatever they grow that. The resource went from here to this factory into the store. And I pay a buttload of money for something that's going to last a lifetime, be passed on to my kids, if I can keep hold of it. I don't know. That's my theory on mother. I don't necessarily, like, I was talking about chickens and food and fish, and I got, like, kind of grossed out, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't eaten meat in a really long time, but it is what it is, right? They say our teeth are designed for that. But I'm realizing that I'm impatient with myself, because when I felt liberated, I didn't have my boundaries infiltrated. When I shut the boundaries up, I thought it would be easy, because these people have proven to me that they hate me. They don't care to return my phone calls. They don't care to keep promises. They don't care that they're physically harming me or threatening me and my kids. You think when you go no contact that it would be easy, because they're pretty much already going no contact with me in the first place. But then you realize that you're a narcissistic fuel source for them. And now their dope is being taken away. And that's what happened. So I'm being impatient with myself. I just want to go back to having friends and phone numbers. Guys ask me to do something. But I know for a fact that 100% of people that I met last summer were super toxic people themselves, or their motives were really skewed. They weren't just sincere, like, oh, you seem nice. There was one guy who's like, oh, you seem nice, let's go hang out. Oh my god, I hope this guy's 18. He didn't have a phone, he didn't have anything. He called me a couple times. Like, I had to borrow someone's phone, but don't call the number back. And I haven't seen or heard from him since. He actually called a few times. And I just felt kind of bad. I was like, that was one person that just seemed like ho-hum. But then again, I should probably ask people their age. I can't tell sometimes. I'm old, I can't tell. And So now I see these people, like, did you watch the clips? Did you just do that? No. Like, what do you do? And there's this one guy that talks to me, and he's got like these guys, these white guys, they have this poker face. You're like, dude, you, there's no way you just like go to work. Like, I don't know, maybe they actually clean their house and do their chores and like feed their cats and go to work and like have like gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. I'm just like, yes, cause chaos, and then like pull myself out of this pit, cry about it, make videos about it, put some music on, dance, and then I'm like, this person sounds boring, and then I'm like, they gotta be doing something. They gotta be like taking like mountain climbing, something like. But I was like, I'm trying to figure out. Like, some people you found out they like nuclear physics, and they'll do any book and video about nuclear physics, and you're like, see, that's like, you find out what their secret, what gets them excited about life, when they're alone, living in the house alone with their pet, occasionally seeing their grandkids and stuff. So it's like, I really like studying like community and stuff like that. But I have to go. I lost the CD to this. No clue where it is, but I really have to go, and I'm just like, I really want to say, like, I looked across the room after blocking these fools, probably one of the last times, but more recently, even close to today, and it was more like a few months ago, but I thought this would all end last summer, and I looked across the room and I said, oh my god, I've got clothes, I've got videos, I've got books, I've got stuff for sale, shipping supplies. I was like, I had come out of a second shell. It was like there was a shell that was like an eggshell I busted through. It's almost like I had still membranes on me, and I was still constricting myself because of toxic people. So I felt like I had come out of that shell recently, and I'm ready to go and hang out and have friends with be friends and go rollerblading. I never go rollerblading. I have roller skates, and like go up to the. I'm waiting for someone to hold my hand and ride the tram and take me on the Ferris wheel, and I'm just like, I'm like, oh. But I can't wait for them, for somebody. I have to do that stuff myself. So I was impatient with myself, and I'm really learning, especially when guys like that guy last night and the lady from my other meeting tell me, I see a big change in you. I see a glow in you. I see life and you're like, you're crap. I was like, I think I really focused on my makeup yesterday. I was like, I think it's just my makeup. But I think it's more than just the makeup. And speaking of makeup, I gotta get in a freaking shower right now for my daughter is in there. And I got this thing in my mind right now where it's like, God, I gotta leave so soon. It's like freaking me out. And all I ate was that chocolate. This is probably not a good thing. That crap is really toxic and it's sickening, like recovering from a cancer. And these people, being around these people, and I'm realizing that I need to be patient with myself, that I'm not gonna just, genie in the bottle, come back. You click my heels together, no place like home, and I'm magically gonna be in a social butterfly and start getting invited to places. And a lot of the people that I already know are super toxic, and there's some things that I'm not doing in my life that, like, when I didn't want to finish school because of the toxic environment, once you get past that stage, then you're on your own. And you don't have to bend over for those people anymore. Oh, that didn't sound right. Anyways, that's where I am today. Or right now. Is be patient with myself and enjoy the journey. So that's why I'm sharing these super long videos with you, is there's like these awakenings, these spiritual awakenings, these light bulbs coming on, these weird teachings through Disney movies, through crazy 80s movies from the library, through science fiction, through sitting down. Like, what if I go outside and sit in the porch right now and just watch these crows? There's something going on. Even thinking, I want to be like, listen, feller, at the place, the guy, you and I need to stop talking. Like, but that would be talking. But part of me wants to get down to the bottom of what the heck is going on with this fella. But I know what's going on. It's just God's in control, in my belief system, and the universe revolves a certain way, and certain things get lined up, and certain things get unwound, and need to be either picked up or discarded. So just like the craft supplies, I did a lot of purchasing stuff. You see all of these crates I keep pulling up in my video, and now I'm actually making stuff, even if it looks kind of cheesy. And I basically made this as my replacement prayer beads, but I really, really realized that it's taking time. So shopping and hoarding stuff is like a crack, and it gives you endorphins. Then you go out to school and work, and you have an inspection. You shove everything in the closet or in your kid's room, and then you realize I got a butt ton. I've got $1,000 of craft supplies in my house. I can make a whole jewelry store, handmade jewelry. And I should go to the Thanksgiving bazaars, take off work, and just get a booth. I should do it. And I how do we say this? When I was able to look across the room and say, "My God, that's filthy," I was also able to realize, since I lost my job in 2015, I was locally in toxic communities, and my relatives knew that I was in toxic communities, and it was almost like, haha, if you're gonna run from me, at least somebody's beating the crap out of you. At least somebody, and that's the vibe I got. They wanted anything to see. I'm like, what? Little old me, why? It's like, and I was like, what is the movie with, what's her name? She's in, Erin Brockovich. What is her name? Pretty Woman movie? Oh, God, Steel Magnolias. Got that little turn in my voice. No, mate, I ain't did nothing wrong. Why y'all always picking on me? I have to realize in my mind right now that I am having to heal in that vibrational thing. I have to get away from attracting toxic people. And if God is telling me that He's in charge, then I need to believe that God's in charge today and yesterday and tomorrow. And that it's not necessarily about whether or not I'm going to be, like, the second part of what I want to say, that God is supposed to be short, was going to life and not know. You hear stories, love stories of people, and it's a divine connection. It's this random meeting. And you come in, think, will this be the day? Will it be the day that I come in and the right person looks me in the eye and was like, we both know and we both exchange information and everything. It takes off from there. You never know if that would even ever happen, if it ever happened. And I'm thinking that I'm trying to find the Disruptive book. I gotta go in half an hour. It's inevitable, but mean people suck. And the whole thing with the crafts, I got more into it when I couldn't get care for car accident injuries, and my hands were not working as well. And I had to use my eyes more, so I made myself do beading. We had plenty of beads. I didn't have to go buy anything. I made myself do things to get my dexterity and strength back instead of, because I couldn't even get to physical therapy or anything. And it just reminds me of the potential. Like you do physics, potential energy, that other energy, kinetic energy. You have this crate in the closet, and I could potentially make you a lovely necklace. I have a pink bag that's full of pre-made necklaces that are supposed to be, they're probably up for sale on one of my websites that nobody's ever one time bought from me. And I want to say that I should probably check that. I was trying to figure out, how do I know if someone actually orders something? I don't think I get an email. I should probably check it. I could have orders all the time and not realize it. But yeah, I end up like, I should probably do something about that. I end up like feeling like when you're having inspection, somebody is making it their time. They're coming and infiltrating your life and disrupting your life. You're missing school, you're missing work, and you're shoving all of your potential, your craft, which is supposed to be part of how you pay your rent, in your closet, and you're losing stuff, and you're dropping stuff, and you're backing up your pretty earrings that your daughter made you, and it sucks. And then all of a sudden, you the way the universe works, you're able to pull that stuff back out and utilize it. And even if you never wear the jewelry or never sell it, or all breaks and falls apart and gets back up again, you're using your right brain and you're doing something creative. The guy yesterday said I was relaxed and calm and not as stressed. And I'm realizing that's thanks to God. I told a woman this stuff, another person I met at a meeting, and she says, "Oh my God, you went through a lot. What was it? Sponsorship? You must have had a really good support network." I said, "No sponsor, no support, no women in my life, no men in my life for that matter." And I said, "It's straight up God." She was like, "Oh my God!" Like it was unbelievable that I, by myself, that I have been able to. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. It's not about me. I believe it's about doing the prayer and meditation, even if my daughter gets mad that I meditate with music. But it gets my brain to relax enough to not worry, or think about, oh my God, that truck's going by, it's too loud. What is it? It's like, that could be the truck that takes my next batch of bananas up to Fred Meyer or Winco. Like, don't complain. I contribute to this.